Fans speak where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Nigga Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fan speaks, that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fan speak team, printing money since day one. Fan speak, forever.
Welcome back to another episode of Talking Ball with Steve-O Speak. We're gonna talk free agency, talk trades, talk whatever you want, but we're gonna do some drafts today. We'll see if we can definitely do one, maybe two, see where we're at with likes and things of that nature. But let me hit up chat to start. We got Mike in here day after day when one thing Steve's on house arrest. It sometimes feels that way, Mike. So now where does Zay Flowers go, Steve, since you won't get any real competition? Yeah, I do think this is definitely one of the fantasy fallouts from last night's Max Crosby trade. You know, on stream yesterday is when Lamar had his reaction, and everyone was assuming AJ Brown, but it turned out to be Max Crosby. I think Mike mentioned this, and I agreed. Like, you know, Lamar, sure, would have liked AJ Brown, but I think Max Crosby is better for the Ravens in the long run in helping them get to the Super Bowl. And they gave up their first rounder this year, their first rounder next year. Because of that, the Ravens are definitely not trading for AJ Brown. Also, from a financial standpoint, the Ravens, are in a cap crunch. In fact, they need to clear up about $12 million to even execute the trade by Wednesday. So, and I'm sure they'll clear out more than that. But I do think this means that they are definitely out at the top of the market for any free agents like Alec Pierce, probably even Mike Evans. I still imagine they add a receiver. Could be like a Juwan Jennings, Romeo Doubs, maybe Shaheed. But I think they're definitely out of at least the top tier of the receiving market, and also any other trades, be it if Michael Pittman's available, just don't have the picks or the cap space. Same with AJ Brown, obviously. And then now they're not going to draft one in the first round. They could maybe draft a receiver in the second round, but that's much more different for Zay Flowers. So I think it's good for Zay. I don't know if I'm going to move him up any, considerable amount, but I think it really helps secure him for sure. Let me keep going with chat. We got Meg checking in. Appreciate that. Got money in the thing. Boom. Yeah. I won't call you DJ Moore because I won't trade you for another fastball streamer. Well, I appreciate that. We get that in here. RB's a king. Mr. Mufasa, how's it going, Steve? Paulino, what up, Steve? Frog Clone, GM, good to see everyone. We've seen some big trades, some smaller trades as well, including the Colts trading away Zaire Franklin today to free up cap space themselves. But we've seen three big trades. 2 first rounders have already moved hands. A second rounder, the Bills second rounder in that DJ Moore trade. So yeah, we've seen some fireworks already. Haven't even gotten to the tampering period yet. I do think another fallout on this, and this had been kind of reported. Tyler Linderbaum is not coming back to the Ravens. We saw yesterday the Chargers signed Tyler Biadasz. And then today the Bills signed Connor McGovern. So the center market is Tyler Linderbaum in free agency. I expect the Raiders, they had plenty of money to begin with already, but now they have even more money after trading away Max Crosby. I would be surprised if they let some team outbid them. Titans could be interesting since they cut Lloyd Cushenberry and have a good bit of money themselves. But I am imagining the Raiders are going to do what it takes to bring Linderbaum in to really give a jump start to that offensive line. They'll need to do a lot more than that, but I do expect that to be one of the fallout pieces of this deal. All right, let's get into let's get into a big board. I'll count it down. Entering here in 10 seconds. Entering in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. And so the other big trade dominoes that could maybe fall. AJ Brown is widely rumored. I mentioned this yesterday. The Eagles actually lose a lot of money by trading AJ Brown. Very much the opposite of the Max Crosby deal, where, or the DJ Moore deal, where the Raiders and the Bears gained a lot of money. With the way that AJ Brown's contract is structured, the Eagles would take a significant cap hit. So that is probably why they are asking for like top of market value for Brown, including reportedly they turned down an offer from the Patriots of a first and a third, which that's essentially what they gave up for him a couple years ago. But yeah, I don't know if they'll get it, but it does sound like teams are inquiring. And then the other wide receiver that was rumored to be traded, two. I mean, Michael Pittman has been long connected, but with Alec Pierce testing the market, I feel like that's very unlikely at this point. And even if Pierce was back, I still think they would try and find a way to keep Pittman. But there are some rumors out there about BTJ. I know then some people tried to say this was just an internet rumor. There's nothing there. We'll see. I don't think it would be wise for the Jags to trade BTJ, but it was clear he did not fit in Cohen's system year one. Maybe that changes year two. And I think you'd have a pretty big market because he still has 3 years of team control on his rookie deal, 2 years, and then the 5th-year option at a much better rate than what the free agent market is. So if so, I could see the Jags, particularly if it's like from a contending team, like recoup a first rounder for him. So we'll see if that happens. I also wonder if the Jags could look, they do have some wide receiver depth. There could be a team that would give up a couple mid-round picks for Parker Washington. He's very cheap at the end of his deal, but he, is former, I believe, 6th rounder. Maybe you get a 4th rounder back, a 4th and a 7th, something like that. Could be worth it for him, just given their depth and talent. Yeah, good to see you, Spunky. I think it's Raiders, Titans would be the other option. Those seem to be the two most likely landing spots for Linderbaum. Yeah, free agency is definitely going to shake things up. All right, we are live in here. Spunky got in the 2-hole. I am Mr. Mufasa in the 6th, Nap Ball in the 7th. Game Tight is in the 9. Hartman is in the 12, and I'm in the 11th. If anyone else is in here, please let me know. So no, I think you have just a very a lot's going to happen these next 2 weeks. Usually after the first 2 weeks, free agency is pretty, most big names are traded, cut, or have been signed. There can definitely be some fantasy impact moves that happen later. After the draft, George Pickens was traded. After the draft, we saw J.K. Dobbins sign, a few other things, but it's going to be these next 2 weeks to really give us a fair indication. And some of them will be wrong, like Josh Palmer going to the Bills didn't mean much of anything. Najee Harris got replaced. So if you guys could get replaced, definitely keep an eye out on that. But we will have a lot more information. And I do think a lot of the current free agents will see their ADPs rise once they get landing spots. Not just the quarterbacks like Kyler and Willis, but the receivers, guys like Wandale Tubbs, definitely Alec Pierce, and Mike Evans, and all these guys, Shaheed. So and guys like Samuel and even Steph Diggs, who just got cut. Like, when we know where he's going again, that fall will, I think, quickly stop. Got Napo in here. What up, Steve? Doing good. How are you doing? Flyfish, one of our few good players. JPJ is the center. So not sure we'll be in on the Linderbaum market. Yeah, I do think Jackson Powers Johnson, I think that's right? There was a report at the Combine that the Raiders were very interested in Linderbaum. The other tough thing is Linderbaum is by far the best offensive lineman available at any position, guard, center, or tackle. And JPJ was always thought of to be capable of playing both guard and center. So they might consider seeing if he can move to guard. He's passable for sure, but I could see that just for getting that upgrade with your rookie quarterback is I think key. And it's an okay, there's a couple centers you could find in the draft, maybe around 3 or 4, but it's not like there's no Creed Humphreys in this draft, Landon Dickersons or guys like that. So that's my thought on it. Yeah, and Money Into Things says he can play guard too. So if I'm not mistaken, didn't they play Kappa at center last year a lot? Was that just with JPJ injured? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to look it up real quick. But he was definitely a prospect that I really liked coming out. So let's see. I'll go to the board here. Hartman and I both double tap running back. We got Kicks checking in. Oh, Cromulent is here. Wasn't sure. Perfectly Cromulent in the 5-hole. Nice. Good to see you. Good to see Kicks. Good to see Hartman's in here. It's a good fun group. Let me look at the Raiders. So I just think the Raiders need to make a splash, especially when you lose, kind of the face of, he was the face of their franchise. I think Max Crosby was definitely the face of their defense. I think you better make big swings, like, just getting, minor upgrades at guard and right tackle help. But Linderbaum gives you, arguably one of the top 3. I think he's probably one of the top 3 centers in the league. That might take the sting away just a bit more, would be my guess. Yeah, so this, I looked up Pro Football Focus. He played right guard last year, Jackson Powers Johnson. So maybe they're assuming, we'll have to see how Clint Kubiak and company feel about him, but could be how they look to approach him again this year. Because he is a young guy. He's, I think he was considered to have a better rookie year than last year. I know he missed time. Looks like he only played 7 games. So can't remember what the injury was. So hopefully he can get healthy. I think Colton Miller gets healthy. That was the other big thing is, and I knew that JPJ missed some time last year. I didn't realize it was 10 games. I knew Colton Miller missed a ton, and it's like, those were probably your 2 best offensive linemen, and they missed the vast majority of the season last year. So not ideal. Let's go Devonta Smith here. I'm still a little hesitant that A.J. Brown gets traded. I know there's a lot of reports that's going to happen. Eagles are going to have to pull some crazy cap magic to make it work, because they're not in a great cap situation as it stands. And they just gave Jordan Davis a massive new deal. And I think it's worthy. He's worth it. But it'll be interesting to see what they can do. Hartman said he picked the wrong draft to join. Best one calls in here. Good to see you. Mike Rob, all these centers signing and being available all of a sudden, I feel does hurt Linderbaum a bit more than he anticipated. I think it helps him because, look, Washington, could just go with Nick Allegretti, but they do have a ton of cap room. And as I said, like, Linderbaum is the clear number one offensive lineman at any position. The other guys that are out there, Siamalu, Rashard Walker, etc., like they're capable starters, but Linderbaum, is young and can be an all, like Siamalu is pretty good guard, but he's getting up there. I think he's 31, 32. And David Edwards, the other Bills, the guard, he's good, but he's, I think, 30, 31. Linderbaum is young at his top of the game, and there's just so many teams that need offensive line help, and interior offensive line help. So I think the Raiders or the Titans, maybe Washington, and also the Patriots. The Patriots just freed up a bunch of cap space with the Steph Diggs trade. I know they could play Jacob Wilson, their, third round rookie last year. They could move him inside the center, or they could say, hey, again, we need to make some splashes here. Let's put this cap money to protecting Drake May so he's not just under constant pressure every time we go up against good defense. So I think, I think Linderbaum will do pretty well. It seems like a number of teams will be competing for him. Well, I can't argue with the fact that the Raiders have made some very odd moves over the years. That is definitely true. We got Peppertoni in here. Sup ups. Hope you're doing well. Game Tight's in here. Hello. Smash the like, people. Appreciate that. I'm coming up in a couple picks. I didn't obviously do it in this draft. I do want to do it. Maybe I will do it on stream. I think I'd only do it if I, which I probably could have done in this draft in the 11th spot. I had a stream earlier this week where someone went their first 9 picks were 5 running backs. No, I'm sorry. The first 8 picks were 4 running backs, 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. And I personally didn't love how they totally landed the plane, because they ended up still taking like a 3rd tight end, and it only was a 9 receiver team. I think it needed to be at least 10. But I was thinking of doing some kind of weird build sometime, and let's enjoy the rumor mill and take Brian Thomas. I was thinking of doing, and I know this is crazy, but trying a team where my first 10 picks are running backs, quarterbacks, or tight ends. And in that case, I would most assuredly be going, actually, let me take Evans. 5 running backs, 3 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. And then my last 10 picks would be only wide receivers. So I think I'd only do that if I had a pick near the turn, the 11, 12 turn, maybe 10. I think you could do a 1 or 2 as well, maybe. But I was thinking about doing that sometime soon. Jordan Davis signing makes AJ Brown trade more likely. The way the Eagles structure the cap, eating some to clear AJ Brown from future years is valuable to them. I didn't see what the breakdown for Jordan Davis from a cap standpoint this year, but I didn't think he had a massive high cap hit this year. Well, probably like 14. Let me see if I can find that real quick. So maybe they saved a little bit, but I just knew by trading AJ Brown, it almost doubles what his cap hit's going to be. Like currently, AJ Brown's cap hit is $23.4 million essentially, and if you trade him, it becomes $43.4 million. So you're actually adding a bunch more to the cap. Now, are there ways that they could do that? Sure. They'd have to get very, very creative. But Jordan Davis, so his number this year was 13 million, 12.9 before this signing. So I'm sure they got that down. They might have gotten it down to like 6 million or something, maybe 7 million. So save, 5-ish million there. But yeah, they're going to have to figure out, get very, very creative to figure it out, because their issues, they don't really pay anyone high base salaries, and it's all signing and option bonuses, which are much harder to manipulate in terms of moving money forward, like what we see these other teams are doing. So that makes it just a bit tougher. There's still some ways to do it, but they're much harder negotiations. Most people have just provisions in their contract. Like every year, the Bills can just restructure Josh Allen's contract. They don't have to go to him. They don't have to go to his agent. Same with Patrick Mahomes. Basically, same with most every quarterback. But that is not the case with Jalen Hurts, because his salary is so low. His game salary. And it's also like the Raiders, why the Ravens are assuming most of the cap, is because most of his money was in the salary, not the bonuses. I don't want Jacoby Myers. I'll just do Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I'll go Tucker Kraft. I'll get a tight end here. We got Jamie checking in. Good to see you, Jamie. AJ Brown caps hit are not feasible for the Eagles. They want to. No, I understand that. It's just it's much harder, just because the way they structure not only his contract, it's not like Tua's money would accelerate with the trade or a cut, but they're going to cut him. We know they're going to cut him. And so they have to start taking money from everywhere else to make it work. Same with the Cardinals. The Cardinals were in a better cap situation already. It's just, yeah, there's ways to do it. The Eagles are obviously a well-run organization, and I'm sure they'll figure it out, but they're going to be much more but more difficult negotiations. Like I said, the Ravens need to free up about 12 million to even before Max Crosby is officially traded. They'll do that easily, like that they could do, literally just flick of the switch, so to speak. Eagles have to be more complicated. Like they actually, I think in most cases, they're going to actually have to negotiate like extensions, like for Jalen Hurts and stuff like that. What, the 10 wide receiver build? And Cobra's in here. Good to see you. And I should have tried to do it this time, but because I do think it works best. The guy the draft that I was in the 12 hole and did it. So I think 11 and 12, it works the best, because it looked through 8 rounds, it actually looked kind of feasible, and then he went wide receiver. So I'm talking even a bigger weight, which has its own risks. But I think it could be fun. I think if done right, and you get the right core of quarterbacks and tight ends and running backs, you should be very strong, essentially dominating those positions, because you're just deeper at all of them than what most people will be. And especially in these like three advanced format. All right, let's go Worthy. But I think So I wouldn't be surprised if that team could advance as long as you don't have like major injuries at a position. And take my guy Denzel Boston. So I don't know. I was toying around with the idea in my head, and I think I want to try and do it. So maybe if I do a second draft here, and if I get lucky with the pick, I'll do it. We got Stephen WC in here. Good afternoon. Appreciate that. Yeah, I will be tomorrow night. Meg and I are going to do our Sunday Night Football. It is one of our members only shows. Every week we're going to do a live show, and for the foreseeable future, it'll be on Sunday nights. Not something that's going to happen during the regular football season, of course, but now it seems like a good time to do some Sunday Night Football. And I need to redo my mock because all these trades have completely screwed it up. I'm going to redo my mock. We're going to talk about that. We're going to draft. So that'll be tomorrow night. I want to say 9 o'clock, but keep an eye out for that. But that will be a members only stream. And then I will do a taped members only show tomorrow as well. That will probably be up either late tomorrow or Monday. Jamie saying, I miss DJ and Dads. My Fridays aren't the same. Don't worry, they will be coming back more in May. Not sure what their schedule will be, but they will be back. No worries about that. Coming up here, I'm sitting at 1351. And definitely go Sadiq. I think I'm going to cap it at 2. Quarterback's gotten a little picked over, and so I think I need to go there. I'll take Cam Ward over Young and Mendoza. Easier to backstack, and I could definitely see him being the better fantasy asset. So much opportunity for upgrades there. Do you think Kincaid has the potential to truly break out, or will his routes always be limited? No, I mean, I definitely think he has a chance to break out. I think the good news is, well, 2 things. One, he is, he's a good best ball tight end, because we know he has these games where he can have 100 yards. Not that you get a 100-yard bonus, but very few tight ends can even dream of that. And then the other thing is, he's obviously tied with Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So, I think his ADP, to me, it's fair. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't heard about it for about a week or so. There's definitely some buzz that Dawson Knox could be on the way out, which makes sense with Jackson Hawes' emergence last year. And if so, I think that would help Kincaid a lot, because while Hawes is solid and was a great 5th round rookie, he's always going to be a much better blocker. Like Dawson Knox can at least, pretend to be like he would be a decent pass catching tight end. I mean, there's a number of teams where he would be their number 1 tight end. So if that were to occur, I definitely think that helps Kincaid. Not 100% sure it will occur, But I still think he's fine. And, at ADP, but I don't know if we're going to see some massive breakout. Like, I don't know if has the ability to be a top 3 tight end. Like we've seen with McBride and Bowers and even Laporta. Appreciate this. Ultimate White Mail gifted a Fanspeak Network membership. I appreciate that so much. Let me know in chat who got it. I can't see from StreamYard. Thank you for that gift. Spunky Spectrum. I know Stafford fell in this draft, even though I didn't take Puka. The fall made sense. Yeah, I mean, look, end of the day, Stafford has 2 elite weapons. Like, I know, we theoretically want to stack him when we can, but he's going to get a lot of points. So it can absolutely help you, A, advance the team, and then B, it then becomes down to what your build is. Like, because you have to take Puka in the first. Well, if Gibbs is just the better first round pick, say week 15, Stafford throws a 30-point game and Puka has a solid 20-point game, but Gibbs had a 30-point game himself. Well, guess what? You want the Gibbs Stafford stack. We will go Kamara. I need to get some RB help. With his restructure, I think he's in a much safer place. As I understand, there's still ways that they could consider cutting him, and it wouldn't be completely cap prohibitive, but I actually need to check on that for sure. I saw different things on Twitter, so sometimes you don't fully know what to believe. I don't take a lot of him. I did, and I actually need to upload my ranks. Let me do that between drafts. I did move up Jonathan Brooks. He was somebody I've been stubborn on. I still would love to see more information. I don't have him this high, but I did move him up. So I did update my rankings. Sorry, Mike. Stephen WC, thank you. Oh, nice. Glad you got it. I thought I was a member until May, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I would have to check. If not, I'm paying when this runs out. I appreciate that. I've been on Spunky Spectrum show as well. I know he typically does DraftKings, so I appreciate him joining us in chat and join us in this draft. A lot of people are high on Brooks. I think Theo and Ben Gretsch the other day said they take him. I mean, right now, and the reason why I'm more in on him now is just because, I'm sorry, I don't get the Charbonnet where he's going, even if Kenneth Walker's gone. Like, the guy's coming off a major injury. It took over a month for him to have surgery. I just can't take him in this range. Aaron Jones, we know is going to get cut. I have no idea his landing spot. Spears, I actually moved him down a little bit because it does sound like they could take Jeremiah Love, which would nuke him. Braylon Allen, Breece Hall's back. I think he needs to keep falling. Katron Allen, rookie, but questionable draft capital. Dylan Sampson, even if he's the number 2, it's potentially the worst team. Brian Robinson, I moved him up. But it's just like all these running backs in this range, and even before that, have just so much uncertainty. Sean Tucker, I think he gets a market and somebody signs him, but we just have no idea where now. Like a week or so ago, when I thought he was locked in as the Bucs number 2, I felt a lot better about taking Sean Tucker. But now I'm going to wait and see. And Kamani Vidal, they did retain him. So that's positive news for him. But, he's fairly cheap. They could easily bring in another veteran or draft somebody, and now his job's on the line. So it's just all these guys have risk. And I think Jonathan Brooks does a little bit as well. But that's why I'm a bit more okay taking him now. Just because we're seeing more risk with some other later round guys. will take Taj here, foul bit, and I have Cam Ward also if he does stay. I'll take DK as well. I will say I am getting a little bit worried with all the Wan'Dale Robinson buzz. Two guys who were both essentially like 60% slot players last year. So something's got to give. I guess maybe DK could play more outside. Wan'Dale's just tougher being 5'7". It's really tough for him to consistently play outside. Let's go to the board here. Ultimate move there. The double Titans. I do think I do think the Titans are just an intriguing team. I know the running back situation could get murky with the whole potential for Jeremiah Love, and even if they add somebody, I think both DK and Ironman are solid prices. And then Ward he goes late. I understand he was bad last year. That's unquestionable. And very disappointing. But he played better as the year went on, especially late in the year with the new staff or the different staff, I should say. And now he gets Brian Dable. I do hope they, fix some of their offensive line issues, and add a weapon. I think that would be good for him. But I could see Cam Ward. Not that he's going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback or even top 10, but if he's quarterback 15, I don't think that's going to be that shocking with Brian Daboll. We are coming up here. Done at running back. Quarterback, I just don't really take Jacoby Brissett. I don't think he ends up starting anywhere next year. I think I'm only sticking with 2 tight ends with Kraft and Sadiq. That feels good. So probably 9th receiver. I'll just really stack up Tennessee with Io Manor. Again, even whether they had Wan'Dale, even if they had Alec Pierce, not necessarily both of them, but if they had like either of the top receivers out there, I still think DK and Io Manor can return value on 182 and 203. Hartman takes Geno. So he makes my decision for me. I was going to take either Geno or Cousins. We'll go Cousins. So I've got 2 more picks to go. Steven saying we will have more clarity this time next week with a lot of players and maybe some of these late round quarterbacks. We'll find a home with good and will be good clicks. Yeah, no, I definitely think it shakes it up. And as I said, all along, I think it also changes like where we're taking Shuck and Darnold and Mendoza, and even Ward and Bryce Young and Stroud. Like, I think those get shaken up a little bit, most likely getting pushed down. Not just because I think Murray and Willis will jump them, but even just knowing who, the Jets starter is, the Dolphins starter is. Maybe we won't know every team, I don't know if the Steelers have definitively told Aaron Rodgers he has a deadline. There have been some reports that Kirk Cousins could wait a little bit and kind of see what's available. So, there could be a couple teams that kind of hold out and play off, guys off each other. Like, if I remember right, the Giants, when they signed Russ and Jameis, I want to say it was like, I don't think it was the same day, but it was like back-to-back days or within 3 days of each other. And, but that, if I recall, was not like the first week or two of free agency. And then, of course, they go on top of that and still draft Jackson Dart. But this year, we just don't really have that situation. We don't have other rookies outside of Mendoza who are a big threat, like maybe a Nussmeier or a, Drew Aller, Carson Beck, or any of these guys. Maybe they could start on how some of these teams are currently constructed, but I don't think they are a threat if, the Jets bring in Geno. I don't think Nussmeier's a real threat to start, early. Let's go Keenan here. Yeah, the running back and receivers. But for sure, Algier and Dowdle could move up tremendously, if they get good landing spots. Let us go. I'll take Chris Bell. I like taking some shots at Chris Bell in these 20th round, ninth wide receiver teams. But and even if it's like to Seattle, like Kenneth Walker leaves and they sign Rico Dowdle or something like that, like that should really jump the price. And to the lesser extent, guys like Rashard White, Gainwell, I think their ADPs can jump. Obviously, a few places where if they go and it just feels too crowded, that they would fall. Brian Robinson Jr. is another one. Najee is another one. So, a lot of these free agent backs, not just the top tier, Walker and Etienne, but the second tier and the third tier as well are going to see some jumps. And at wide receiver also. It's not just Alec Pierce who can move up. I would have to imagine if Romeo Doubs gets any number of like clear starting landing spot, which he should, given what he should get paid, he goes up 15, 20 picks, if not more. Weaker than Paul. I'm still struggling to take any non-Bowers tight end before you get to the Kelsey Barner ADP line. Even guys like Chig are still free, and they will get 8 to 10 million for Commanders or Eagles. Yeah, I mean, when I think that's also, and that's why I only went 2 tight ends on this team. For me, it's more around pick 100. Like, I don't take many tight ends, including Kraft, who I like quite a bit, but I don't love Fannin. This pick one, I mean, I guess Kyle Pitts, but even still, like 9th round, I prefer waiting till round, 10. Strange and Kincaid, I think, are fine. Henry got pulled up in this one, but yeah, usually you're getting Henry late. Where Ferguson's going, where Goddard's going. Mark Andrews just continues to be essentially free in this. Kelsey is free in this. Obviously, there's at least some risk there, but all these guys, Schultze, Njoku, likely Barner, as you mentioned. Yeah, the Chig I worry about because when the musical chairs for tight end stop, he could definitely end up without like a clear landing spot, like a clear starting role. Maybe not. Maybe it's more likely. I don't think it's Otten, just because he can block and do a little bit more else. I think. I mean, yeah, from the free agents, Chig's the one I worry about the most. Just because I think there will be a much bigger market for likely and maybe Njoku just because he's older, but yeah, we'll have to see. We got TD Mr. Mufasa joining, new member. Appreciate that, Mr. Mufasa. But in general, I agree with you. I love late tight end round builds. Like usually I'm starting with, that Goddard, Andrews, Kelsey, Henry tier. Nice. Okay. Yeah. DK is definitely a little different. And, DK tight ends, I think take a bigger hit on DK just because very few have 100-yard bonus equity. And that's why you mentioned like, Bowers and McBride have that equity. And also they're the ones who could get targeted, more on par with the receiver because, total catches matter a lot more there as well. So I agree on DK. The gap is even more different. Like this mid-tier, I'd feel less about on DK for sure. Appreciate that, Mr. Mufasa. Game Tight asking, are you clicking Caleb Johnson? Sparingly. I think the Steelers could go a number of different directions, and they could bring back Gainwell, they could bring back an Aaron Jones or Rico Dowdle, who McCarthy had in Dallas. Tony Pollard becomes available. That's another former McCarthy back. They could make a bigger running back splash. They actually have some money to play with this year. Or they could just roll with Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson. And in that case, I think Caleb Johnson absolutely has a role. Like Warren last year, started the year very involved, but Kenneth Gainwell kept eating into his role. And I know they gave him an extension last year, but he could really go back to being like a clear satellite back. So in that case, with Caleb Johnson, maybe Caleb Johnson racks up 200 plus carries, 7 to 10 touchdowns, that kind of thing. So yeah, I want to have a little, I'm not going to go overboard. Next week could change things. The other issue that the Steelers have is they have some extra draft picks this year. They have 3/3, they have 2/4, I believe. So, they could take a running back in those rounds also and add some, fairly significant competition. Seems like nearly every non-Bowers tight end has been pushed up the board the past week or so. Yeah, right now, really only done, I think I've done one fast draft on DraftKings. I'm in 27 slows right now on DraftKings. So I definitely devalue tight ends. So I've been waiting, and the ADPs are different. I'm trying to remember where Andrews and Henry go there. I know the first draft I did fast, I can't remember what the tight end room was, but I was like, I'm not paying these prices. We got disbanded in here with the dot. Appreciate that. All right, let's do some team reviews. I'll be doing it for my team and then, of course, members. I do appreciate everyone joining. Thank you so much. And somebody give me a heads up. Where are we at for legs right now? So I go 3-6-9-2. Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, Kirk Cousins, a little thin at quarterback, but obviously Lawrence closed very strong. Cam Ward, I just think could have a nice sophomore season, and I still think Cousins is more likely than not to get a starting role. Hardly a guarantee though. Running back room: James Cook, Marion Hampton, Kyron Williams. So 3 early backs. Then I just waited taking Kamara, Jonathan Brooks, and Taj Spears. So hopefully at least 2 of those guys are pretty usable. Ideally all 3, but I think if 2 are pretty usable, that's a great running back room. Receiver room, Devonta Smith, Brian Thomas Jr., Mike Evans, Xavier Worthy, Denzel Boston. So only 3 in the top 100, but then Worthy and Boston right after that. And then I added depth beyond that with DK and Iron Manor. Hopefully one of those 2 is a pretty good pick, if not both. But one of those could really have a ceiling, even if they do add somebody. Keenan Allen, hopefully he doesn't retire. Then Chris Bell, hopefully his injury situation isn't as bad. So the way I look at this is I like my core 6 here, or core 5, I should say. I actually am a pretty big fan of DK overall. I'm hoping Wandale doesn't hurt him too bad if he goes there, but I like my top 5. And then I think between the DK and Iron Manor, I should definitely have a pretty usable, at least one pretty usable receiver most weeks. So I kind of feel like I have 6 guys there, and then I'm just taking lotto ticket shots on Keenan and Bell. And then just 2 tight ends, Tucker Kraft and Sadiq. A little risky with Kraft coming off an injury, not knowing exactly Sadiq's landing spot, but it does seem like, mid to late first round is kind of a lock there. All right. Mr. Mufasa is one of our YouTube members, as you just saw. So he goes 2-6-9-3, Hurts, Baker, then goes Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Bashal Tutin, Jordan Mason, Kamani Vidal, Ollie Gordon. So, like one major anchor running back, but I think Swift is just so undervalued right now. Tutin, it's sounding less and less likely that ETN's back. I still think they bring somebody in, so it kind of, Bindles and Jiri were talking about this on Bindles' stream last night, that, what do you do with Tutin even if like a Rashard White comes in? Like what to their ADPs? I still think it's worthy for some Tutin exposure. I don't have a lot right now, but I probably should take some because it is now sounding like ETN's gone. So as long as they don't bring in, like a Rico or Algier, I think that'd be a significant risk. But Rashard White type, Kenneth Gainwell, Tutin will probably be fine. Jordan Mason, he's really been moving up with the Aaron Jones news. And also just because, like I said, there's so much uncertainty at the bottom, that pick 120 to 170. There's a lot of uncertainty there. Kamani Vidal, he's a guy I definitely take, because he is one of the, little uncertainty, but not near as bad. And then finally, Ollie Gordon, reasonable click with A-Chain, kind of like the hammer. We saw that sparingly at times, but maybe that grows. So I think he's a solid, late round running back, particularly at the moment. JSN, Higgins, Rashee Rice with a 10 pick fall, which is, I think I'm ranked 46 or something like that. So that is fair. Michael Pittman Jr., I like that a lot. Chris Godwin, definitely like that. Romeo Doubs, as I just mentioned, he's going to be moving up when he signs. McMillan could move up if Mike Evans leaves. And then 2 rookies in Jacoby Lane and Skylar Bell. I think they're 3rd, 4th rounders, but it's a deep class. If one gets a solid landing spot, could be looking pretty good. And then you go late tight end, AJ Barner, TJ Hawkinson, and sounding more and more like Hawkinson will be back in Minnesota. That's probably a good thing with them, bringing in a real quarterback. And then Colby Parkinson. So, not a lot of investment, but Barner and Parkinson, I think, give you a pretty solid touchdown floor. And then Hawkinson, maybe we can get the Hawkinson we saw a couple years ago. He's a couple years removed from the injury and could actually have a viable quarterback. Nat Ball, also a member. Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, so 2 quarterbacks. The both with the mobility upside, both with the spike week potential. Javonte Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Trey Benson, Sean Tucker, Najee Harris, George Helani. I definitely moved Helani up, need to start making that click late, and Isaac Garendo. So, kind of like anchoring it with Javonte, but then threw some volume at it on some, situations that are unclear, like Carolina, Arizona, took a couple free agents. Helani right now, he would be the lead back. I do think they bring in somebody, but I think at least early in the season, until Charbonnet is back, he's going to have a pretty decent role. And then ASB, Neighbors, DJ Moore, he's now going this range, which I think is fair. Jordan Tyson, Khalil Shakir, Travis Hunter, Calvin Ridley, and Jeremy Bernard. So nice little balance of some rookies, young guys, veterans, kind of your core of ASB, Neighbors, and more. Then tight end room, Laporta, Kincaid, Theo Johnson. That's a very good tight end room, particularly Laporta and Kincaid, part of two top tier offenses. Then Theo Johnson looking to keep making a jump in his play. And then Hartman also is a member. 3692. Mahomes, Love, Geno Smith. Definitely two starters and then potentially one with Geno. Similar to my build. Genty, Barkley, double anchor, Breece Hall, so I guess triple anchor. And then very similar to my build. 3 early backs and wait for 3 late. Kaytron Allen, Brian Robinson, and Emmanuel Wilson. Still surprised the Packers gave up on Emmanuel Wilson. Maybe he comes back at a cheaper rate. Maybe, hopefully, he signs somewhere else. Because I had some decent shares of him. Zay Flowers, Carnell Tate, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, really stacking up love, but I think that's fair because now with no Romeo Doubs, I think Watson and Reed are his top 2 targets, receiver targets. Casey Concepcion, Debo Samuel, and Josh Downs, and Elijah Surratt and Darnell Mooney. So got some falls here on a number of guys, particularly the rookies who seem to be falling. And then, stacking up the Packers, like Zay is your number 1, most people wouldn't do that, but Zay, I think he's a high floor guy. And, Mike thinks I totally hate Zay. I don't hate Zay, but I like how you built this because there's a lot of upside to go around with Zay. And, Zay, without getting Big Ten competition, probably can pay off again this year. Harold Fannin and Travis Kelce, need Kelce not to retire, but otherwise that is going to be a good tight end room. Let me catch up on chat. Mike saying so many new fans speak brothers. Yes, appreciate that. 18 likes. Yeah, let's get that up. I'm going to do one more draft. I would like to see that like number go up. 1,800 likes. That would feel good, disbanded. Agreed to news risk. I have 6% and trying to get to the field since it looks like ETN is gone. Yeah, that's fair. I really don't have much, and so I get it. But he's just been a tough click for me. We'll see. It just, has not felt like Liam Cohn's a believer, but it's kind of like Jalen Warren. Like sometimes these backs, they just get the opportunity and it works. Hartman, does it sound like Keenan is coming back? So I've read some Chargers beat writers suggesting that he might even be back with the Chargers. That was the thing last year. Like he wanted to play out west, so that there's very limited options there. Could go to San Francisco. They would have a clear need for him. I've been playing it like, yes, it's a risk. He could retire. But he also, I feel like as each day gets closer and closer, like he could have just hung it up right afterwards, after the season. So as each day gets closer and closer, no news to me is good news. And it's just one of those things where, just about anywhere, his ADP is going up 4 rounds, 5 rounds. And for a number of locations, it could go up 8 rounds. So, I generally do it when it's like an 8 wide receiver build, but I love my other 7, or like in this 9 wide receiver build. I'm definitely well above the field, but the value upside to me is just so high. People try to rate him off the last 2 years. He finished pretty well in both years. Yeah, I'm kind of out on Emmanuel Wilson now until we see a landing spot. I thought he showed enough last year that I wouldn't be surprised if some team gives him a look. But so right now I'm waiting, just because I already had a decent chunk before the news that they were not tendering them. I was surprised. They gave Chris Brooks an extension, but he's more of a special teamer. So even from that regard alone, he'd be worth it. I don't have a shot dating Meg. Steve, and I'm progressive if you're available. Well, I appreciate that, Jamie. But thank you. And Mike saying, I know you don't hate Zay. This year I want more Zay for sure. Just despite the passion, not totally hate. I get it. I don't have a good argument for Manny Wilson other than Mr. Bucks, who knows what you get. Yeah, my issue was at the time it looked like at Green Bay he had a fairly clear path to be the number 2. They didn't think so. Or if he signed somewhere else, like it could be as a number 3 back, like a very clear number 3 back. That's my worry. But who knows? Maybe he gets a better landing spot. Maybe he goes to like the Cardinals. I'm kind of surprised about all the chatter surrounding Chargers going after a wide receiver in free agency. Pretty bearish for Ladd and I suppose QJ and Trey Harris. I definitely think it's. The AJ Brown rumors were wild to me. As for free agency, they do have a lot of money to spend. I do think they want to maximize, Herbert. And I wonder if, QJ, while he ended up having, good fantasy year, he clearly kind of got in the doghouse. I shouldn't say clearly, but it seemed like he kind of went in the doghouse for a while there last year. His play time really went down. His targets really went down last half of the year, outside of 1 or 2 games. And keep in mind, the current regime did not draft Quentin Johnston. So I wonder, I could see him getting traded. If they sign somebody, I could see them then trading him for like a 4th rounder or something like that, or 5th rounder. Ladd, I guess I generally think Ladd's going to be okay because Ladd is like the perfect receiver for Mike McDaniel. Route runner, speed, guy that he can get in motion, just get, creatively find ways to get him the ball. Trey Harris, I think would take a hit a bit. Emmanuel Wilson and Sean Tucker were, me too. I didn't see either one of those. For how little it would cost to extend them, it just, Now I think both showed enough to have some sort of market out there, but like I said, could be much worse situations. Totally agree. I'm not laying up on Wilson by any means. Timmy, some of the memberships will start to end. But you can always renew. Flyfish, wish I was strong enough to go back to Marshawn Lloyd. Well, year 3, but man, even with the Emmanuel Wilson guy, I agree. I just can't do it. I think they are just cutting their losses there. He's on the team, but we'll see if he truly makes it in September. All right, let's get into another draft. I already went over the team, so I'm going to do one more draft. And I'll count it down. Aaron in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. So still waiting on 7 people. This is a big board. Let me check Twitter, see if anything else broke. Oh, kicker contract news, Eddie Pinheiro staying with them. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else major. So yeah, we tampering period starts 12 noon on Monday, Eastern time. So like 40, was that 42 hours away? So I expect we're going to see a lot of cuts. And re-signings and extensions and stuff like that. Definitely a lot of restructures. A lot of teams need to get cap compliant. Right, we are still waiting on 2. Looks according to over the cap, it seems like 8 teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 teams need to get cap compliant. Now that's by Wednesday. Excuse me. But yeah. Arvin asking, which free agent do you think gets the worst overpay? Not sure how predictable it would be. Let's see here. Game Tight's in the 1, Netball is in the 3. I'm in the 10. Ooh, it's tempting. Do I try to do the 10 and 10, the first 10 picks, running back, quarterback, and tight end in the 10th spot? I think it's going to be tough, but I think I might try to do it. Kelly in here. Good to see you, Kelly. I don't see that much. I actually am a big Alec Pierce believer. I think he's really grown and developed. And he was always a deep threat and was actually always good about it. And he's actually developed into more of a receiver. We saw it more this year, and I think we would have seen even more breakout if not for the DJ injury, Daniel Jones injury. I mean, look, I'm a Malik Willis believer, or not believer, but I think there could be something there. But it's rumored he could get $30 million. He's made 4 or 5 starts since his Tennessee days, which his Tennessee days were awful. It's not like he was promising there. He was his rookie year, which he only made 5-6 starts, maybe 7, but was horrific. It was one of the worst rookie starts we've seen. So I'd say that's a big overpay, but I also think there is a path where he could pay off. You're a wide receiver than the last 9 rounds. You know what? I'm going to try it this way. I will try this. I think I'm going to try the hero wide receiver, and then can't take another one until the last 9 rounds. Right, we will go Justin Jefferson. So we're just praying that they are getting the quarterback. So I cannot take another receiver until the final 9 rounds of the draft. Definitely don't recommend this strategy. Ashton Genty is our top running back. So I still need to. Yeah, I mean, I could see. Like, I could see Kenneth Walker getting like 14, 15 million. That feels like an individual overpay. But a lot of that is, everyone gets like a Super Bowl bump, right? When you, particularly, we've seen that from so many guys who won the Super Bowl and then get a big contract afterward, like been a Super Bowl MVP or a difference maker, then get a big contract. So trying to find a good free agent that I think I think the biggest overpay might be if Brandon Ayuk gets anything above, like league minimum, right? But he should be on the most prove it deals. Like, even if he gets what De'Ami Brown and Tutu Atwell got, the 10 million last year, that is an extreme amount for a guy who just quit on his team. I don't see Tyreek Hill getting any sort of market. Trayvon Diggs, I think, would be in line for a big overpay, just based on name, and he is only 28, but he really dealt with injuries, failed down the stretch with the Cowboys. Packers picked him up, didn't do anything there. I'd be worried about him. Trying to look at somebody who's probably gonna make some decent money. No one's jumping out. Let's see. I'm coming up on pick. Yeah, usually injuries end up determining if like the biggest contracts are overpays. But somebody like a Curtis Samuel, that was a clear overpay from the jump. It wasn't like the most massive contract. Gabe Davis is not. A lot of times it's secondary wide receivers or corners, just because the position gets so overpaid, and then it's based on a thin level, production window, and usually from a great team. All right, so no receivers. And you remember that. Go Kyron here. So yeah, I saw Gritty's in here. Gritty, I'm doing this. I did here a wide receiver in the first round. And my next 10 picks need to be running back, quarterback, or tight end. And then I'm going to finish it off with 9 receivers. Be Romeo Dubs. I don't know. I think Dubs is a pretty solid player. Loveland's tempting, but I think we need another running back here. Tight end, you can get. So I'll probably make this a 2 tight end team, and I can get those. I could do 8th, 10th round tight end and be fine. Yeah, and this is what I mean about injury also. Like, if Christian Kirk didn't get injured, is that 1 year for the Jags? He was playing really well. He gets injured, and the Jags just kind of crumbled down the stretch. So I think that contract will look a lot better if he didn't get injured back-to-back years. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Mexican hairless dog contest. That would be funny. And here's Gritty. Never thought I'd see people talking hero wide receiver. Yeah. Well, I do it from not this kind of like strict build, but there are a lot of times where I'll take like a Chase in the first, and then we'll take another receiver to like Ricky Pearsall in the 70s or something like that. So I think that kind of build can work. Kenneth Walker can beat out Charbonnet. Can't say I'd be worried about him holding off Scadaboo if that happened and Scadaboo was healthy. Yeah, I mean, it's just also a coach decision. I mean, last year it was clear Seattle wanted a two-back system. Ideally, if he were to go to the Giants, Nagy would, institute the same thing. That's one of the reasons why I was more bullish. And I forgot to update my rankings. Sorry about that. But they are updated on our Substack. I will have them up for my next show. That's why I was kind of bullish on Kenneth Walker to start this, because early on, right after the Super Bowl, they're saying, and even before the Super Bowl, it felt like Kenneth Walker was going to be back with Charbonnet's major injury. And there when his competition is George Helani, and I didn't think they would necessarily add a ton with Charbonnet eventually coming back. So it did seem like Walker, maybe in the playoffs, weeks he takes a step back, but for a good chunk of the year, he could be just really loaded up with opportunities. Ideally, if he were to go to the Giants, Scadaboo would take that Charbonnet role. We just don't know if Nagy will do that. His brother didn't do him any favors either. Not sure who we're talking about. Coming up in 2 picks, I need to take a running back, a quarterback, or a tight end. Don't particularly love this range. Might go quarterback. Okay, Scadaboo gets taken. We will take David Montgomery. Continue to pull him up. So, only going to go 5 running backs, so I don't know if I take my 5th here. Probably going quarterback or tight end with this pick. Definitely not worried about stacking. Charbonnet is a 2nd round pick. The plan was never beat him out. He goes to Giants versus day 2 backs. I mean, I will say, definitely different. I agree with you on that. But I also think, yes, Scadaboo was a 4th rounder, but he showed quite a lot, and so, now it was a different regime, or at least different coaching staff, same GM, currently at least. There's definitely talk of that changes. So yeah, I think it's a little different. And the bigger difference would be if you're paying Kenneth Walker $13-14 million a year, which I would think would be the very top end of the market that he would get. It's you would think that the opportunities would be there, but yeah, I mean, I would think Scadaboo has the Charbonnet role, but we'll see. No more slander on Christian Kirk, chat. Steve might need him. Well, now, Paul, you definitely have the opportunity to stack up receivers since I am avoiding them. Yeah, you took wide receiver early. up in 12 picks. So we'll see if the strategy pans out. I mean, again, normally I wouldn't do it this way. Like, even if you go hero wide receiver, I think it's like, Chase or Puka, and then wait till like round 7. This is definitely more extreme. But since my Justin Jefferson pick, I've taken 5 straight non-receivers. I still think even taking Hurts, I want 3 quarterbacks, and even though I'm kind of taking them all in the window, my idea is to bully the position, like not just be okay with having the 4th most quarterback points on team. Like, let's get a couple quality guys, 3 quality guys. So yeah, I can outscore the Josh Allen team. I can outscore the Lamar team. And then running back wise, got the same thing. Like, I want to be able to outscore the Bijan, Gibbs teams by taking 5 running backs early. I'm going to hope to do that. Coming up in 2, Dak goes. Need to decide if I go running back here, tight end here, or grab a quarterback. You know what? I will take Ramondre. I originally thought I'd wait to get like Dowdle or Algier as my 5th back. I'll take Ramondre. He falls. I think that running back room now is very good. So we're going to eliminate that from position. Now my next 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks and tight end. Or wait, my next 4 picks. Yeah. I think I will go Trevor Lawrence here. So I've got 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 1 wide receiver. Very unique start. Ben Friedman just drafted Diggs in the 140s and feel like that's a steal right now. It's going to be a 1 on an okay team, 2 on a good team. Yeah, I mean, he was 1 on a good team last year. No, I think Diggs, and I get there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but yeah, I think it's going to be, I think the team takes a shot on Diggs. I think a lot of teams could be interested. Like that running back room, definitely getting someone prom night. Oh my. All right, yeah, the big thing is, can I land this with 9 straight receivers at the end? But no, I agree. I mean, Diggs is, wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on my team. I mean, looked, I assume he's still there. Yep. So sorry I haven't gone to the board. It's just easier for me because I'd be worried that I would, just between chat and everything, make a mistake. We got Whohames in here. Good to see you, Whohames. Says, "Sup fam, driving home." Whohames, this is my second draft. I'm talking some free agency, different things, but I'm doing an extreme anchor wide receiver build. I took a wide receiver in the first round, and then my next 10 picks are running backs, quarterbacks, and tight ends. So I won't take then I'm planning on taking just 9 receivers with my last 9 picks. So it's, we'll see how this works. Exactly, Hartman. Like, I want to be able to go back and forth between the chat and everything and not having to worry about just panic picking something at the top. Just much easier this way. So could go tight end here. I didn't get Herbert. That would have been really fun to get lined up for Gadsden team. I think I'm only going to go 2 tight ends, so I might need to take those 2 next. Get them both right here. So just so then I can feel like I'm done. Like these quarterbacks, obviously, but we'll take Gadsden. Actually, maybe I should take quarterback because then I could get boxed out of quarterback, and I don't want to be taking Aaron Rodgers at the, 130 something, whatever my 11th round pick is. So I actually might do that. Much more palatable to take a tight end there. Just go with value, like if Goff's there, or do I go something that makes more sense? Goff is gone. Won't do Shuck. I'll go for upside here. I already have 2 quarterbacks. Kyler is a type who could hit my lineup with some spike weeks. So now that's done. We're taking the tight end, and then I get to go back to a wide receiver. Diggs seems like the next old wide receiver signing in Baltimore. Diggs has too much baggage for me. You need to be high for this to work, Steve. Come out to Texas and we'll make it happen. ETN, he sucks. Mr. Fawcett, they don't have the money for Diggs yet. Give it 2 years and they'll be in the age and price range. Yeah, I do. The Odell Beckham, the Hopkins, like that hasn't worked. That's why I really thought they were going to make a big splash and still could sign somebody. Like I would not be shocked to see like a Romeo Doubs because that's going to be much more reasonable. He's probably in the $15-16 million a year range, and you can backload it, pretty considerably. So I still could see that, but I do think it takes him out. Like Alec Pearson, probably most assuredly Mike Evans as well, unless they get super creative. So this is in no particular order, but I get one of these guys. Even Mark Andrews, I feel pretty good stopping at 2. And I just kind of have to. And then I'll get to see what wide receivers are left. Yeah, when I saw somebody did this on my stream in the draft that I was in, they went 8 rounds. They did 4 running backs in a row, 2 quarterbacks in a row, 2 tight ends in a row, and then they started drafting receivers, still mixing in 3rd quarterbacks, mixing in a 5th running back and a 3rd tight end. So it wasn't like this extreme. Like they had receivers 9th and 10th and 11th. But I do think the trade-off here, taking Jefferson and then pivoting, makes sense. So I'll get a tight end. I would definitely prefer Stroud if he can come back to me. I like Sadiq. I want more of him, but Stroud, gain a stack here. Strange. I think I was saying Stroud. Sorry about that. Shakir went. I was kind of hoping. I figured he's been falling, so I was hoping he would be there. All right, we are just taking receivers from here on out. And it's thinner than I thought it would be. That's not great. Definitely not great. I will go Shaheed, Rashid Shaheed, my number 2 receiver, guys. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? You know, with Gritty being in here, I might draft this Chase Claypool in the player pool. He is. That could be my 20th round click, my sneaky sleeper. Fly fish this year, especially, would be real interesting to see what wide receiver is available late rounds. We didn't get much of anything last year. Some good feeling wide receiver clicks late this year. I mean, we did get some Wandale, Alec Pierce. Those were actually those are like 15th, 16th round types. Beyond that, we didn't get a ton. And, I mean, obviously, up until he signed, Keenan Allen was kind of going in that range as well. So that would have been another good one. And then after he signed, QJ was kind of going in that range. So if you did it right, you got your shares of Allen early, QJ late, paid off pretty well. But yeah, there definitely weren't many great late wide receivers. Definitely a couple, but not overly productive. Disbanded with the LOL. Let's see, wide receiver scoring. Yeah, this year at wide receiver right now, and I do think some of this changes. Like, I was kind of hoping, like Diggs, Dubs, Shaheed, these guys, I think all will go way up once they land somewhere. Obviously, some of the rookies can go up. Like if, say, Quentin Johnson got traded, like Trey Harris could go up. Like there's a lot of things that can change. But right now it does feel, and I think in part because the last 2 years ago was such a great receiver class, but those guys mostly shelled last year, so it would push them down. Then last year's receiver class was kind of disappointing, but plenty could hit more in year 2. The Tennessee guys, Trey Harris, Jack Besh, we'll just have to see. So no question, I'm taking out Mark Cooper Jr. He's there. So right now for me, it's more avoiding some of the landmines, and really didn't get a fall. I half expected to see, Travis Hunter fall in this. Sometimes you see Josh Downs fall. I'm surprised just with me taking so few wide receivers that we're just not seeing falls. I don't love taking Jerry Jeudy, but this could be a team that makes a little bit more sense. I'm still going to lean into my take on Troy Franklin. Hoping he's the number 2 there. I think it works the hero build. I think what I could have done, if you started 9, 10, 11, I think that becomes doable as well. Like that team that I mentioned, But there, then he tacked on a late running back, a late quarterback, and a really late tight end. I think that was actually one of his biggest mistakes is he took like Jatavian Sanders, and it's like his two tight ends were Laporta and Kraft, I think. It's like, what are the odds Jatavian Sanders, has any fantasy value, much less enough to beat up these two on more than 1 week if you're lucky. And so, I think his team would have been better with the 10th wide receiver. But yeah, the hero build is interesting. There are dudes this year that go undrafted that you could see mattering to different degrees. Yeah, 100%. Like where, Mooney, another cut guy who, could easily find a pretty solid landing spot. I expect we'll see Ridley cut in the next couple of days, and same sort of thing. I haven't been taking him because I think he falls. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of guys in this undrafted range. I mean, Jalen Naylor is a free agent. He could have, a solid market. Depending on what the Giants do, maybe. I mean, Darius Slayton's contract will keep him on the team. So maybe he's got a bigger role. Hollywood Brown is another one. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but he had 505 last year. Maybe he is somewhere that is semi-usable. Do you try to aim for certain archetypes being so thin at wide receivers and mostly best available? So it's definitely not fully best available. I don't love Keyshawn and Booty. Had he come back, I would have taken him. I'm looking for guys who have upside to vastly exceed their ADP. For an instance, a guy like Tesla, I think is fair here, but he's the line's third receiver. Barring any major injury to one of the top two, he's the line's third receiver. I think he's fine, but I think he fits this team less. I'm actually going to take Tucker over Mitchell. It doesn't help that the two teams between me only have 5 wide receivers, so they'll probably continuously pick over this area as I try and double tap. That's why doing it from the 12th spot is nice, just nicer. I can dictate my players a little bit better. I'll take Horton here, just because again, Shaheed likely gone. He's got a path to a bigger role. Surratt is interesting, but I'm kind of hoping he falls back to me. If he doesn't, that's fine. I don't want too much uncertainty, at the position right now. I mean, the last couple of picks will be there. Him with the Grady checking in. I am for big body touchdown wide receivers. Yeah, and I think that's the other kind of thing is guys who. Their roles will be much bigger. Now Tesla has the touchdown upside, but it's just, I don't think the 6 touchdowns are going to grow. I think Tesla will have 60 targets this year and 5 or 6 touchdowns, maybe 7 if you're super lucky. So, but I do think hunting for touchdowns can be key. Overall, I'm looking for guys whose roles can be more than definitely what they're currently being drafted. People liking Bateman is crazy to me. I haven't watched him his whole career, especially last year. There's no real ceiling outside of based off the talent he's shown in offense not being thrown. Yeah, I mean, he was super disappointed. I thought he was maybe having a late breakout, finally got healthy, stayed healthy. And I thought last year it just made sense. They gave him like contract extensions back-to-back years. It seemed like he was finally ready to break out. Just fit perfectly, likely in Andrews, red zone and middle of the field. Zay, is the speed but Moore works from the slot, and Bateman can just be that outside guy with some vertical ability, some size, and just kind of help out. And it just never materialized. So, I mean, this is the type of team where I'm going to need Jefferson to definitely have a quarterback this year. Not just do I need him to be an elite fantasy weapon, but I just need him to be consistent. Like, I can't have the 0-point games from Jefferson or 5-point games from Jefferson. Definitely taking Io Manor in this build. I need Jefferson to week in, week out give me a floor. So, maybe he's not my top scoring wide receiver, but essentially I need to count on him just about every week. Right, I'm going to go Flournoy. I can't trust Keon Coleman. Kyle Williams, semi-interesting, but I think Flournoy, given the volume of the offense, I think he's going to be locked into the number 3 role. Not necessarily the biggest touchdown guy, but I think he's capable. We saw some big-time throws to him. So, I like the central volume of the offense. This team, it's definitely not a wide receiver room I'd recommend, but if I get lucky with like Shaheed and Omar Cooper where they land, there could be a fun path. Oh, that I go right. I feel like that's tempting fate for JJ McCarthy to be the quarterback again. But outside of when I stream with others, I don't name drafts. I need to name this one for sure. I'm going to say, yes, Jefferson extra hero wide receiver or something like that. Yeah, what could go wrong? Horton, Jefferson, and Io Manor take you to the promised land. And that's the other essential thing is, like I said, I need to dominate the quarterback scoring for this team to even advance. I need my running back room to be pretty dominant as well, and for it to hit my flex. Like, I need Javonte, Monty, Stevenson constantly hitting my flex. Because even though I have 10 wide receivers, I don't really want to count on a wide receiver. In most builds, like, your running back should hit the flex more, but it's like, of the 17 weeks, you maybe 10 verse 7, right? This, I need it to be like 16 verse 1, or even a tight end hitting the flex. So yeah, I think that's the way this works, is these running backs are just so strong across the board that that my running back points can compete with anyone in this draft, for my RB1 and 2 spot. But then my flex points are pretty high because just the whole running back room is working. So I will top it off with 2 more receivers. Not sure if I'm going to go with like a rookie upside play. Like, I might need to take Christian Kirk. I do prefer the veterans just because while there are paths where they become zeros, but So Cup goes. We'll take Keenan Allen here. Again, I would absolutely love to have a 19th round receiver to give me 140 points. Malik Washington, Naylor, Jack Bash, Christian Kirk. Probably taking one of these. I don't trust Slayton all that much. I'll go Christian Kirk. I know Malik Washington seems fun, but I just don't know if the new staff is going to want two, very short, small receivers as their two top receivers. So, how did this team turn out? Well, not too bad. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray. I think there's a ton of quarterback points available there. All of them use their legs, so could have plenty of spike weeks. I expect Eagles' offense to be much better, and I didn't say it at the time, but Murray's probably the odds-on favorite to be Jefferson's quarterback, so that is a nice little upside there as well. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is, we saw how he closed last season, and hopefully this year things are even better. Running back room, Ashton Genty, Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams, David Montgomery, Ramondre Stevenson. So Genty is the, top end guy. Even in his questionable rookie year, he had like over 200 points. Kyron, obviously, just 3 straight years. We just need trust at this point. Javonte, we saw what he could do. David Montgomery now gets a massive role and opportunity. I think Ramondre maintains a pretty big role and opportunity. So, I guess I originally was probably looking to get like a Jadarian Price, Rico, Algier, somebody like that. But, I think getting those 5 is really strong. So Jefferson is the anchor. Please, please, please be Kyler. Anyone but JJ McCarthy. Would have loved if like Diggs had fallen back over Shaheed, but Shaheed I think could be interesting. Omar Cooper Jr. I think ends up going in the first round this year, so hopefully that goes to a nice landing spot. Trey Franklin could be the number 2. Trey Tucker could be the number 2 for the Raiders. Torrey Horton 2 or 3 for Seattle. Ion Manor, 1, 2, or 3 for Tennessee. Brian Flournoy the 3. Keenan Allen. Hopefully Allen and Kirk can get positive landing spots, but 2 veterans I think teams will have some interest in if Allen wants to keep playing for sure. And then Kirk, looked really good in the playoffs, and hopefully that gets him a job. I mean, slot only guy, but could be effective, and helps just I think more likely helps raise the floor. Like I feel like I have some ceiling plays here, but I'm really just looking. I need some guys at the end to help raise the floor. Just because, there's a few ceiling options late, but they seem pretty thin. I'd rather be guys getting a few points a week. And even if that's, some weeks my third wide receiver might produce 8 points, that's better than my third wide receiver producing 4 points. It might come down to that. And then Gadsden, Strange, 2 tight end build, kind of 2 mid tight ends. Generally, 2 tight end build with at least one more elite would feel better, but I like Gadsden's upside. Strange, not just part of the stack, I think he's pretty solid price as well. Right, I will go to the board for a second since I really didn't do it. Game tight went 2-6-9-3 with a Bijan, Pickens, Olave, Lamar start. Nat Ball, I'll do a full review of his team in a second. And I think that was it from the chat as I remember, but Nat Ball, and he said it, he was doing, like a 0 RB build, and we'll get to that in a second. 2-9-7-2. Went 5 receivers to start. So let's review Napball's team. Being a YouTube member, Caleb Burrow, he double tapped the quarterback area, and then stopped Chuba, Pollard, Kenneth Gainwell, Rashard White, Sean Tucker, Aaron Jones, Ray Davis, Damon Claiborne, and Seth McGowan. Just kind of a mix on these free agents, a big chunk of free agents. I think ideally for this team to work, Carolina doesn't bring in any significant competition. Hubbard is, the 1A on the team. Tony Pollard, they don't bring in like Jeremiah Love, and he's still the guy. Then you get a couple right landing spots, and this could pay off. Wide receivers, Chase, Nico, AJ Brown, very strong. Keeps going with JMO and Adunze. He grabs Travis Hunter for the upside play and then tacks on Antonio Williams late. That wide receiver room is insane, especially if Hunter ends up having a bigger role. And then tight ends, Jake Ferguson, and then taking the shot on the rookie, Eli Stowers. So, as long as Stowers gets a landing spot where he'll play, that pays off. I'd feel a little hesitant taking Stowers as part of a 2 tight end build. I think Stowers gets second round draft capital. Just so often we see second round tight ends not necessarily being, significantly involved from the jump. We saw that with Arroyo last year. We saw with Ben Sinnott, Luke Schoonmaker, even Brenton Strange. So a little bit of extra risk there. But Ferguson's a great anchor tight end. And at the end of the day, tight end position is going to produce the least amount of points. So if Stowers has a very minimal role, it's not going to be end of the world kind of stuff. Overall, running back, it's a volume play. It's a landing spot play. Like, you need some of these guys to get some good landing spots. Otherwise, it's just, will there be enough points out there? That's the risk, but I know you're doing volume and building it out that way. So maybe with a couple hitting right, it pays off. So let's go back to chat, and we will get out of here in a few. I appreciate everyone for jumping in. Mike saying take Kendrick Bourne. He said I pulled it off. We'll see. I definitely label this one. But I want to thank everyone for joining me, liking this episode, becoming members, all the support. Feel free to leave a comment afterwards. That helps us as well. Hope everyone enjoyed the drafts. These next few days are going to be pretty wild. Like I said, Meg and I will be back tomorrow night doing a members only stream. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on, I will be doing, afternoon shows. Probably will do an extended one Monday and Wednesday as well. And then I will do my show on Tuesday and then jump on with Tuheems at 3. So have a lot planned this week. Should be a lot of fun. Let me finish up with chat. I get the Bateman slander. Dude has been on IR his entire life, but he was a decent round 1 draft pick for now. And he was wide receiver 2 on offense. I want exposure to a lot thinner with Harbaugh gone though. Yeah. It's just how they view him. And then I think the tough thing last year was his earlier bad years. You could really chalk up to injuries. Last year, he wasn't really injured, and it went so bad. So, but I have a couple shares of him in the 20th round, but it's not the fun click. Though now maybe Ravens just give it another run. Hartman saying fun drafts. Appreciate that. Appreciate everyone again. I'm going to get out of here. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day. I will catch you next time.